So, Mark, apparently the sky's still falling in real estate and prices are going to plummet. What do you
Well,
think about that nonsense?
on some of the comments that I've seen on some channels and other sites for 2024, they're saying, oh, just wait and see what happens. We're going to see tons of inventory come available. These rates are going to be having people sell their homes. And we're not seeing that. I'm not seeing it right now in the market. And we're still seeing a really tight market. And I have some clients that saying, what should we do? Should we sell our house now while the market's stable and we know we could sell it? Or do we wait and see? Because they're reading too the negative media comments. There's millions of articles, there's millions of people's opinions out there, and it's scaring some people. That's my thoughts. I don't think we're going to see the inventory levels as everybody speaks of for a few reasons. And I think me and you discussed them. One, mortgages back. If we got that buyer that bought in 2019, yes, prices were low. You bought in 2019, prices were low. Properties back from the peak, you probably could have got close to $1 million for your property. You're probably got 40 points. Now it's kind of settled down, but that buyer right there is coming up for renewal in 2024, but they're in an equity position positive versus an equity position negative.
Well, that's the thing. And the thing is with these mortgages too, one thing that my mortgage guy was telling me about, he goes, people that had variable rates are actually not in a horrible position because they've been getting used to this increase every month or every couple months, where the person that's going to get all of a sudden have to renew and their payments are doubling. What's going to happen with them? Because all of a sudden they're going to get a notice. Oh, your mortgage is going up $2,400. They're like, what? I can't pay that.
No, and I know some folks that bought in, I think 2021, time they got finished a new build, and they're paying on a $655,000 mortgage. I think with taxes in, there's $2,400 a month. They're sitting large right now, right? They're in a great position, but they haven't felt all these payments. What's going to happen if, we sustain these rates for time, which I really don't think we will, but let's just go on the assumption that they may be higher for longer periods. Is the affordability going to be there for that buyer that's maybe got 20% equity position in their homes? I don't know, but that's 2 years away.
Well, the thing is, and this is the other thing, is that everybody's rotating at a different time, right? Correct. Some people took 3 years, some people took 4 years, some people took 5 years, some people are on variable rates, so it doesn't even matter. So right. Like it's not like you're going to see all of a sudden everybody's in this shithole all at the same time. That's not going to happen.
But a lot of the public think that though, right? We're seeing that from comments. I don't think nothing's going to happen. I still think the inventory's slow and going to remain low for a while, probably until, if we see a rate decrease, we're not going to next year. I think we need to see the economy slip down a little bit before we see that. But you and I both know when we see interest rates go down, real estate assets go up. More demand is going to pile in.
Yeah, I read that Barb Cochran or whatever from Shark Tank, the article yesterday, where she's saying that as soon as interest rates start going down, she thinks that real estate's in a bottleneck right now. Everybody's just doing nothing. Everybody's just sitting here. Yeah. She's predicting that house prices are going to go up 20%, that there's going to be this huge rush of demand. Well, and inventory is still going to be low. It's not going to be huge.
Right. And, some articles that I previously read over the last year and a half talked about in 2025, we will surpass the peak of 2022. Right. As, probably that time rates will go down. Maybe the feds will get rid of the stress test. I don't know. Maybe amortizations will increase, make it easier to get into home ownership. I don't know. Immigration, we've always talked about how much immigration is coming into this country, and a lot of them going to Ontario, at least 50% of them. I don't know where they're going to live or where they're going to rent.
Well, the other thing is, if these forecasters are right and these prices are going to go up, then people should be bloody buying now.
Well, I agree. And how many times have we've had clients in the past, right, that now's the time to by, and then they look at us with the deer in the headlights. Bottom line, I really feel that people follow the herd, right?
Yeah, they do.
In, great, we're going to rush in now. Everyone's, and they don't care. They just keep, okay, well, this is the price. Okay, well, what do I need to go in at? Because I know there's going to be 6 offers. And then now, back even maybe more last year, where we couldn't get that buyer to buy. We got that buyer to buy this year on some of our clients and prospects. Last year was a tough year to convince them. That was the year they should have bought.
Yeah, I know. Last July was like the perfect storm because interest rates were low.
Yep.
And house prices had dropped.
Yep.
So it was like the perfect little time to do it, right? And I couldn't, my buyers, some of them are buying now that wouldn't buy last year at this time. They wouldn't. No.
And I'm going to talk about first time buyers for a sec, not long though, but you know, that buyer has been squeezed out, double digits going down and down each year. That's such a small percentage of our market. And when we see these negative comments come into on our sites and social media platforms, oh, the bottom's going to fall out and everyone's going to have to sell. To your point a couple minutes ago, well, they've had to qualify for a stress test. They're not in bad shape. Can they weather a storm if the rates go up, depending on the product? Time will tell, but we're not seeing any ripple effects now, a surge of inventory to affect pricing. We're seeing the opposite, where we really don't think, I think we're underestimating demand out there right now. I really do. If we saw good product that people want, I think it gets snatched up quickly.
Well, it does. That's what I'm seeing. Like if it's good and it's priced right, it goes pretty fast.
Yeah, it does. And the pricing's key, right? I mean, we've seen it creep up for certain neighborhoods that are in demand, certain property types, certain price points, still holding off on offers, still bidding wars. That hasn't changed all year.
Well, it's funny. I had an investor client call me today about selling his duplex. And I said, well, this is the worst time to sell a duplex because they don't cash flow. Investors aren't buying. So that avenue's gone. And I said to him, the thing is, if these experts are right, prices are going to go up.
Yep.
So why would you try to sell it now? It's cash flowing for him.
Absolutely.
Because he bought it years and years ago. So it cash flows for him.
Hold it. I wonder if he got rid of the tenants, that would make it better for him, where maybe 2 families can buy, go in on that property. I met a couple in Quebec this couple of years ago when I was in Tremblant, and in that province, so we'll say a duplex for us, bottom and up top, it's sold as like a condo and element fees. You could sell half of your house, you can sell the bottom half of your house. I wonder if that would come in Ontario. What a great way for home affordability right there. How cool would that be?
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat.
Well, I don't know.
It works in Quebec. I was astonished at it. So
that's cool.
But we'll have to see. And I think that, your investor client, if he's had it for years, what's the rents like? There's so many variables to sell.
Well, no, this is the thing. He just rented it out.
Okay, just rented it. Okay. Then
he just re-rented it for 24 at the top,
right,
and 18 on the bottom. But for an investor, it still doesn't cash flow.
Someone buying it, but he bought it years ago.
Oh yeah, for him it does.
He's okay. Yeah.
I told him, I said, I don't know if this is the time to sell it, because he also has tenants in it. So we're going to have to reduce it like crazy.
Oh, 100%.
Because it's still not going to cash flow.
It's not.
Right?
It's not going to. No. Unless you put 40% down, yes, but no investor likes putting down 40 points. They like 20 points. This isn't the market for that type of property.
No.
And we see it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a big influx of inventory. I think we're going to see a trickle.
Right. Yeah. And, looking at the inventory levels, we've been watching them closely. We're sitting at 425 listings in Barrie. That's been like that for the last 4 weeks. 420, 423, 420, and it's a slow time. So we're not seeing inventory come on the market, which is kind of good, but we both know 30 to 40% of that inventory is kind of old crap that's been sitting around.
Yeah.
Hasn't been much new inventory coming available, right?
No.
So it's going to be interesting to see, but I really think prices are going to go up. And I told my clients on a property, I'd stay there for, another 6-7 months, see what the fall market's going to do, assess it then. You got time to assess it. They're looking at a new build coming on in April of making that move. I'd sit still on a semi-detached property owning today. I'd sit still. You could sell it any day of the week.
Well, my thing too is I think the fall market will tell us something, but I don't think I think we're going to see, like, what we saw in May, a little bit of an uptick.
Yes.
I think we're going to see the same thing in September, October, a little bit of an uptick, and then November, December is going to die like it is now.
Yeah, but see, November is usually pretty good. I find November a strong month. If there's
at the beginning, but usually by the end, it goes to hell.
Yeah, as soon as that first snowfall kind of comes into play, things get a little quiet, and people getting back to Christmas parties, socials, and stuff like that, preoccupied, things slow down then too. But I think I'll be interested. Okay, want to do any comments? Any comments come across? Give a like, give a subscribe. We'd love to hear some feedback as well.
I had a lot of people liking our last market update, because I think what you hear out in the media and a lot of the the noise that we all hear isn't really reflective of what's going on.
It's not. It's just not. When we're seeing retail sales go up, we're seeing spending going up, we're seeing corporations reporting earnings going up, more profitable. The US GDP is I think it was 2.3%. Where's the recession? Where's the slowdown? And
listen,
it makes zero sense.
In all these years we've been licensed, 14, 15 years almost.
Yep.
How many times have we been told the market's going to crash?
All the time.
All the time. Has it ever?
No.
Is there little ups and downs? Yes.
100%. 100%.
Is there a total crash?
No.
The Bank of Canada isn't going to allow that, because, they've insured all these mortgages. The government owns, what's it called? CMHC.
At their back.
So they've insured all these mortgages. They have all this money in all these houses. How can they afford to let the market go totally crash? They'd have to pay out the banks. People would be walking away.
You'd be walking away. And I think back, when I was a young kid, back in the 70s, I guess, late 70s, when inflation was through the moon. I remember going to my parents, why did so-and-so leave that nice house and move to the piece of crap on the street, two streets over? Well, we knew the inflation with the rates were so high. Here's your keys back. We're leaving the castle and we're going to settle for something less. I don't think that's ever going to happen again. That's just I don't think we're going to see.
My first house, interest rates were 12%.
12%. Insane. I don't think we're going to see that.
We're never going to see that.
What the feds are going to do in September, if they're going to do another increase. I don't think so. If we continue to see some lower inflation numbers, there's no reason to slow down this economy, because they have to play both sides of the fence. It can't just on inflation only. It has to be fiscal and monetary policy. It just can't be focused on one. So see what happens. Anything else you want to chat about?
Nope. I think we're good today, Mark.
Good. Okay. See you.
See ya.